The guards thought she couldn't understand them, but when May heard what they said in Chinese, her blood ran cold, and in that instant, she knew the millionaire was about to die. The problem was, no one would believe her. May had been in the city for only 6 months, working as a translator for a private security firm that provided bodyguards for foreign investors in Shanghai. It wasn't a glamorous job, but it paid her mother's hospital bills back home in a small village. She spent most of her days silently standing beside powerful people, listening but pretending not to understand. That was her role, to bridge languages, not lives. That night, she was assigned to a visiting millionaire from Europe, a tech investor named David Lawson. He was polite, charming, and unlike most clients, he looked her in the eye when he spoke. She noticed his kindness when he thanked the waiters by name, his curiosity when he asked about Chinese customs, and his quiet loneliness when he looked out at the city lights from the hotel window. The gala dinner had ended late. David's convoy waited outside the luxury hotel, 3 black cars lined up, engines humming. 2 Chinese bodyguards stood near the second car, whispering rapidly. May wasn't supposed to listen, but the sharpness in their tone made her turn her head slightly. One of them said under his breath, "There's a bomb in the second car." Her heart nearly stopped. She blinked hard, thinking she must have misheard. But the next words made everything clear. When the boss dies, the plan succeeds. They weren't guards. They were part of something else, maybe hired, maybe infiltrated, but definitely dangerous. May's palms went cold. If she spoke up, and she was wrong, she'd lose her job, maybe her freedom. If she stayed silent, a man would die. David was already walking toward the second car, smiling and thanking the hotel manager for the evening. The guards followed him, their eyes empty and fixed. "Sir." May's voice cracked as she stepped forward. He turned, surprised. "Yes?" "Don't." She froze. The guards' gazes turned toward her, hard and questioning. One hand slipped into his coat, her mind raced. She couldn't expose herself too directly. "That car, it's the wrong one," she said quickly in English, forcing a smile. "Your driver just called, you're supposed to take the first one." David frowned slightly. "Are you sure?" "Yes, sir." He said there was a mix-up. Her voice trembled, but she forced calm into her expression. "Please trust me." Something in her tone must have reached him, because after a second's pause, he nodded. "All right." He turned toward the first car. The guards froze, exchanging glances, and in that hesitation, everything changed. May grabbed David's sleeve. "Get down," she yelled. A deafening blast tore through the night. The second car erupted into fire and metal. The shockwave slammed into them, shattering glass and shaking the hotel's marble walls. Screams filled the air as the luxury driveway turned into chaos as David lay on the ground, dazed, his suit torn. May's ears rang, her heart pounding. Smoke billowed into the sky. The 2 fake guards were gone, vanished into the panic. Paramedics arrived minutes later. Police sealed the scene, questioning everyone. When they asked how she knew, May only said, "I just had a feeling." She didn't tell them about the Chinese whispers. She knew too well how corruption could bury truth. Later that night, as David sat in his hotel room, hands shaking from adrenaline, he looked at her with eyes full of questions. "You saved my life," he said quietly. "How did you know?" She hesitated. Then she said softly, "Because sometimes, people forget that the quiet ones are listening." He smiled faintly, gratitude flickering in his exhausted face. "Then I owe my life to your silence and your courage." Days passed. The investigation revealed that a rival company had orchestrated the attack, bribing local security members. May's testimony, though cautious, helped expose the truth. She was offered a promotion, money, even an opportunity to work abroad, but she refused. She wanted to go home. On her last day, David met her at the airport. He handed her a small envelope. Inside was a letter written in careful Mandarin. "Your courage is not the absence of fear. It is choosing to act when no one else will." He smiled. "You once said you wanted to study again, start your own translation agency. This should help." Inside the envelope was a scholarship offer, fully funded, in her name. Her eyes filled with tears. "Why me?" He replied softly, "Because when everyone was silent, you spoke. The world needs more of that." As she boarded her plane home, May looked out the window at the city's glowing skyline. She had come here as a translator, a silent observer of other people's stories. But for once, she had written her own, and somewhere deep down, she knew one thing for certain: courage doesn't always roar. Sometimes, it whispers, just loud enough to save a life.